What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, people? What is actually going on? It is a Wednesday, all day. Man, so much is happening. So much is going on. Oh, I forgot to write that down. I was down, and I got an alert today. It was like ICE is going to be down at Chicago, down by the Viking Stadium. They're going to be down by the hospital. That's what everybody was thinking. So everybody was thinking that ICE was going to be down by the hospital at the emergency room. I guess that was the thinking. So, like everybody else, I put all my winter stuff. Got to put in order to go outside now in Minnesota. If you don't have at least 4 layers on, then something's wrong with you. So I had to throw on everything. I got this really cool vest. My wife bought it for me. That, one of those that keeps you warm. You got the little heating pads and everything in there. Got a big old battery. Dang on battery is about that big that heats this thing up. But I tell you what, once it start heating up, oh my goodness. And then she got me the gloves, got batteries in the get up thing, the gloves that keeps my hands warm. So I put on my snow pants and everything else. And so by the time I step out of my car, I'm like feeling I'm a polar bear. Nothing can penetrate everything that I got on. So I went down there because I wanted to see. I didn't see any ice. Went into across the street from, you got the emergency room, and then if you go across the street is all the what they call specialties, right? And in that building, I know this because this is a building I now have to go in. Before I was at Abbott, but now I'm at HCMC. So anytime I have to go down there, which is once a month, there's all in that building. If you go down there for yourself. Again, anything that I say, don't take my word for it. Go see for yourself. But in that building, there's Somalis all over the place because they basically take care of the building. They work in there. They clean the building. They clean the bathrooms. They do all of that. I mean, they're packed in there. So I thought that's the reason I went down there, because I was like, all them Somalis that's in that building, holy smoke, this is gonna be crazy. So that's why I went down there, because I thought that's what they were gonna do. I thought ICE was gonna be down there, hitting that area, hitting those people, dealing with those people down there. But apparently, nothing went down. And what they are. Here's the thing that a lot of people who don't live in Minnesota don't understand. And I know y'all so badly want ICE to go in there and get these people. I mean, you're chomping at the bits. You are, and y'all know I'm right. You know I'm right. Because every time I put something out, you come up with something different. Just trying. Oh, well, we need to, what's that? Denaturalize. Dude said that we need to denaturalize just the Somalians. Nobody else. Right? Because like I told him, I said, well, if that's the deal, then you're going to have a lot of Hmong people that's going to be leaving the United States. If we're going to go that route, you got a lot of Asian people here that's going to be leaving the United States. Yeah. Can't just do it to one group of people. And another thing about this is the reason, what y'all don't understand. And again, you're chomping at the bits, hoping and praying that your president is going to come through for you, and y'all going to get to throw some brown people out of the United States. I mean, come on, stop it. No, stop it. Be real. Be Nick Fuentes. Be like Nick. Tell the damn truth. But here is what your who Pam Bundy and Donald Trump didn't really look into before they got on here and start making all of the statements that they're being made. I mean, some of the things, look. The black community have been through, and I'm going to get into that tonight. But you can't throw people out. Sorry. Because there are more, what that guy say? He goes, there's probably more born American Somalis than there are people that y'all think, even though y'all think all of them should go. Literally, all of them. Even if they're Americans, y'all think all of them should go. But what he said, even then the ones y'all feel should be kicked out. And y'all know as well as I do, regardless of how you feel in your heart, regardless of how your blood is boiling right now, knowing that the promise that he made, that y'all thought there were going to be a lot of Somalis that's going to be leaving Minnesota. That's what you thought. And then he marched ICE into Minnesota only to find out that a lot of these people got papers. A lot of these people got papers. Or was born here in the state of Minnesota. Or was born in another state and they came to Minnesota. But it was they are American citizens. That's why he's fighting to try to do something with this birthright thing. But if he messes with that, there's going to be a lot of Japanese kids that's going to be going bye-bye. A lot of them. That's how it's going to work. So you got to have them make a choice. You got to sit here and say either all of them or none of them. All of them or none of them. That's just that's the choice you have to make. That's the choice you got to make. And there'll be a lot of white kids or white people, European Americans that is going to be on all of those lists. It's just gonna be. That's the only way this thing's gonna work. But we can't just get all mad at somebody and start going, I'm gonna dump this person out. Because truth be told, none of us. I mean, truth be told, right? None of us have the right to be here. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, zero. No, seriously, zero. So here we are going to get all bent out of shape and be mad. And like I was just about to say a little bit ago, if any group of people have the right to be pissed off, hold on. I was gonna wait a little bit on this, but now it's on my mind. So let me get into this, but I'm gonna do it this way. So I had this young lady today. Oop, if I can get her in there. But I had this young lady, can't get her in there. One day I'm gonna learn how to do this here, so this thing can work. But I had this young lady here ask me a question. Right? She asked me that question. Can you please discuss this? She said, can immigrants from Africa, including Somali and African Americans, right? Put meaningless division aside and work together for a better future. She said, we don't need to agree on everything, but why not unite when our interests align? Thank you. Can you please discuss this? Yes, I can. So here is the deal. And this is what I mean when I say if any group has a right to really get upset and really get pissed, it's black folks. And so why is that, Rev? Well, no matter what immigrant set, culture, whatever you want to call it, has come here to Minnesota, whether it's the Asians, whether it's the Hmong community, whether they're Japanese, whether they're Chinese, whether they're Africans, West Africans, East Africans, whether they're Somalis. Every single group ends up in the black community. Every single group ends up. You know who didn't end up in? If they would have sent those South Africans here, they wouldn't have ended up in the black community. See, what white people do, European Americans, what they will do is they will bring these people here from these war-torn countries. Think about it for a second. So I'm going to pull you out of just filth, literally. Now, how Trump called all these areas like the Hmong community. Okay, so when they pulled them out of there, I mean that was probably some of the worst area, third world, fourth world, fifth world country you would ever want to be. It was so bad. It was so bad that the European Americans were like, let's just stick them over there with the Negroes. It can't be any worse than that. Hey, what's happening, John? It can't be any worse than where they came from. Let's stick them over there. And what did they do? Put them over there in St. Paul, did they not? Right in the black community. That's what is so funny to me sometimes. If the black community is so bad, why do you always stick these immigrants in the black community? They come from a really, so they didn't take, watch this. This is how this works. So they didn't take these immigrants, whether no matter what immigrant it is, has come to Minnesota. They always end up in the black community. And then what happens? So let's take the Hmong community, for example. Watch this. So the Hmong community, they bring the Hmong community in. They give the Hmong community everything under the sun to get these people to be okay, be okay in America. These people then somehow, some way, and I still haven't figured this out, and it's the same thing with the Somalis. Somehow, some way, these immigrants are able to get loans that black people could not get. So these immigrants get these loans and they start buying up the cheap property in the black community where the black community, people in the black, could not get these loans. Then all of a sudden, these immigrants who are in the black community got stores and businesses and things going in the black, but the black community, people in the black, can't get what they got. So now we're better than you. There was a time when we wasn't. But look at us now. And that's what they do. Right? So I was trying to pronounce this young lady's name. So she asked that question. Can immigrants from Africa, including Somalia, and she said, and African Americans put meaningless division? No, we can't. We can't. And I'm going to tell you the other reason why. Because when these immigrants, it's funny, because what happened is these immigrants, even the Somali, and that's what blew black people away. That's why we were sitting there going, these low-down son of a just they don't want black people, because they had the Somali community come here to Minnesota, and they literally told the Somali community to do not deal with black people. That's why you heard a lot of Somalis saying, we know black. We're not black. We don't want to be, like, say, yeah, exactly, John. That project's, it's over there in St. Paul. That used to be a black project. Black people lived in that area until they put those Somalis over there. And there are no more black people there. Black people had to go fend for themselves. That's what they do. So it's hard for us to go and work or be a part of this group when this group is thinking to themselves, we're going to be better than them. One of the things about the black community, our problem is we cannot get along with we can't deal with ourselves first. So let's break this down a little bit more. We can't come together as a people. We can't. We can't. I don't know if it was from slavery, where it was beat into us. I don't know if it was from slavery because of the separations when they had babies and they sold the babies, they sold our mom, they sold our dad. When they sit there, and that's what's funny to me, when white folks always try to get on black people about, oh, there's no fathers in the house. Y'all started it first. No. Y'all started it first because you took babies from mom and dad and you sold them. So I don't know if that trauma, if things are just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was the beatings that we took, that my ancestors took. I don't know if it was the fear of seeing somebody hung from a tree, or see somebody get put over or strapped to a tree and getting beat. I don't know. PTSD. We never dealt with that. That trauma that my people came out, so they come out of slavery, and you say, go, get out of here. There was nothing that dealt with the trauma these people came from. And then they had to go through the trauma when the Klan would ride into the night and scare them. The bombings down there in Mississippi. The massacres that went on in black. So, but whatever it is, this is what I know. We black folks, African American descendants of slaves, the ones whose ancestors got off the boat, those people, we can't assimilate. That's the new word. That's the new word now. That's the new word now that the right wingers have started using. If I had a nickel for every time I've seen that word here lately, I'll be able to buy me a motorcycle. Assimilate. Everything's assimilate now. Well, they didn't come here and they have to assimilate. The only reason black folks assimilated is because you beat our ass. You beat us to the point to where we lost our language. We lost most of our culture. That's why we assimilated. That's why we assimilated. But I seen the Hmongs fly their flag. I've seen the Asians fly their flag. If we're going to truly assimilate, I see in China, you go to San Francisco, L.A., New York, they flying that China flag. If we're all going to assimilate, nobody should be flying any flag from any other country, correct? I seen people from Canada who are from Canada flying their flag. Crystal said Chinatown. Thank you very much. They have their Hong Kong Day, and they have the Japanese. They have their day of celebration. The everybody has their day. Rev, can we talk? Rev can talk about some. Yeah, what do you got? What do you got? You said, can we talk about something quick? Wait, what do you got, John? Got a question that needs to hear your thoughts. I don't see y'all be asking questions and I don't be answering them the way y'all want to. Y'all know I'm go ahead, John. Let's try it. Let's see. John's got a question. So we're gonna answer John's question. So let me write this down where I left off, because I want you guys, I need you to understand. Y'all get mad at other people and be like, well, they want to assimilate. I don't see I see other people flying their flags of where they're from. I see other people celebrating their heritage of where they're from. I see other people still speaking in their dialect, in their tone, in their dialect, in their language every single day. They're not speaking English. And they're not speaking the King English. And if y'all hadn't beat my ancestors to the point to where they could not speak their language, I would be speaking two languages right now. I would be speaking the language of my home, my true home. And I would be speaking the language of these here United States. But because there is no record for me to know where my home or my ancestors is, guess what? As far as I can go back to my heritage is Charleston, South Carolina. Once I hit Charleston, South Carolina, there is no trace. There is zero trace of where my people is from. My last name, Christopher, is from the slave owner. The last slave owner that owned my great-great-great-great-grandfather. It's the reason my name is Christopher. It ain't from a king from Africa. It's not from a civilization from Africa. It's not even an African name. It is a white European's last name. Those are facts. Those are facts. I don't make that up. So when people say, Rev, where's your people from? I say South Carolina. No. Meaning, did they come South Carolina? But you gotta be from somewhere overseas, and you gotta be South Carolina. That's as far as white people are lucky. They sit there, oh, I'm German, Irish, Pekingese, and I got a little bit of vermin in me. I can't say that. South Carolina. That's it. And that's sad, though. That is sad. That's how a group of people here, European Americans, set this up for black folks. They burned the records. So John's got a question. John asked the question. Why does the city of Minneapolis tell the Somalians to call the police if contacted them, but never tells the Spanish Mexicans community to do that. When is the last time you heard ICE this deep in this state doing what they're doing, John? This is unprecedented. This has never happened. Never happened. One of the reasons the Latinos and the Mexicans are down on Lake Street right now is because they view that as a sanctuary city. They feel protected because the city said that it will protect you if you make it here. That's just like that's same thing if someone goes over in Maple Grove and steal a car. If you make it to Broadway or Dowling, you're safe. So there hadn't been a reason, John, for the Mexicans or Latinos to get that type of warning. So there was no, but, and a lot of these, again, here is the part that it's going to piss people off and people get mad at me because I remind them a lot of these Somalians are American, just like I'll just go with it because that's how you guys see us. Just like I am an African American, I don't know what part of Africa. I have zero clue. But I'm seen as an African American. Why? My ancestry is somewhere from Africa, right? And I was born where? In America. A lot of these Somalis, and that's what they're finding out, that here is where Trump has ran into trouble. Because a lot of these Somalians are Somali Americans without having to have the paper, without having to go take the test. Yes, sir. Y'all have zero clue. That's what I'm saying. Y'all have zero clue how many children. I don't know. Did y'all see that video? Now, this is just one school. Y'all seen that video of all those kids in school, all those Somalian kids in school singing? See how many of those, see how all of those kids? If y'all think that's it, there's 2 schools in Prior Lake. 2. Burnsville. Cooper. All over. I can sit here and say the state of Minnesota have no clue how many of these people are here in this state. They have no clue. They can't. They can't because a lot of them don't count themselves. Richfield has a science tech academy. That's what I'm saying. I don't think when they sit here and say, oh, there's a close to probably 100,000, I believe it's more. They cannot get a number on these people because a lot of them will not say that they're here. A lot of them will not count themselves. So like, especially the old Somalis, you ain't counting them. You're not getting a count on them. That's just not going to happen. Oh yeah, Crystal. Go downtown Minneapolis. Right there by the Salvation Army. Right there. There has to be about 500-600 kids that go to that school down there. They're all Somalians. All of them. So again, I don't really believe that Minnesota knows how many of these people are here. They don't. They don't. They sit there and say, oh, it's 100. I guarantee you, if they actually start doing a count, they will get close to 300,000 or more. I'm not just saying that to say that, people, because when you think about the areas that they are in now, they are literally from north to south to east to west. Black people are not even like that here in this state. We're not. They're barely even half inhibiting. I think there's more people probably in Hibbing than there are in St. Michael, Albertville. St. Michael, Albertville makes sure that there's no black folks. They made sure that there's no black folks. But there's more Somalis that's up in Hibbing than there are black people in St. Michael. So John, there is no reason for them to give the Mexican and Latinos this warning. Because the warning was put out to Somalians. That president y'all guys have, that president that y'all voted for, put the warning out to Somalians. Did he not? He didn't say Mexicans. He didn't say Latinos. He didn't say Venezuelans. He didn't say Brazilians. He didn't say Jamaicans. He didn't say nobody but them. So when they said, hey, they said 83. No, it's more. Oh, my God, that's low. You got 80, what do you say, 83K? That's way low. I swear, if their numbers are not 200 to 300,000, then there was a miscount. There was a miscount. Albertville only have Walter. Oh, she said Albertville only have Walter. Skin only. Skin only. I'm going to leave that at that. Skin only. But to get back to her question of why can't we all come together, dark people, right? Negroes and Africans, real Africans, because we got the West Africans over in Brooklyn Park, right? Got the Somalis all over. We got the Haitians, Brooklyn Center, Crystal. And just like I was at a church and the dude says, what a lot of people don't realize, if we all came together, if the blacks, Haitians, Somalians, West Africans, the Nigerians, if that group of five, if we all came together, stopped doing what we're doing, we would be powerful. We would be so powerful we could run Minnesota. Those are facts. And this is a reason why, what's her name? DQ? DQA? I hope I got your name right, because I butcher names. I'll butcher. I have no problem in telling you that, too. I will butcher your name. But when these other groups came over, this is why the European American had to make them hate us. And they did. He said, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but the blank did a good job of pushing race to divide. That's where I'm going with this. Watch where I'm going with this. They had to push race to divide us. If those five group of people with melanin in their skin, came together and said enough, do you know how much power we would have in the state of Minnesota? Now with the Somalians here in Minnesota, in their numbers, with the East and West Africans here, people don't realize how many how many West Africans we got here. I don't think people realize how many West Africans are actually in the state of Minnesota. I really don't. Let's just say, think about this for a second. Let's say you got 300,000 Somalis. Let's say you got 100,000 West Africans. Let's say you got 100,000 Haitians, 200,000 Nigerians. There's a lot of Nigerians here. And then pulling up the rear, I'm just going to throw out there African Americans. Let's say you got 200,000. Now, do you understand why when other immigrants of my color that looks like me come here, why the European Americans do everything they possibly can do to make them hate black people? Because they never want them to come together. That's why. DQ. That's why. We can never, what'd she say? Work together for a better future. We don't need to agree on everything, but why not unite when our interests align? And every single one of our interests align. Every single one of them. We could start a third party. We don't have to be Democrats, and we definitely don't have to be Republicans. We could actually start a third party in the state of Minnesota. Those are facts. And if the Democrats want our vote, they got to sit at our table. If the Republicans, well, you know they're not going to sit at our table. You can forget about that. So we will be probably voting Democrat all the time. Even though we're not Democrats. Even though we are a third party. He said, united we stand, divided we fall. John, we have been saying this here for years. Black folks have been saying that. Can we have a seat at the table? Can you put us in the mix? You know who don't give us a seat at the table, John? Republicans. You know who don't put us in the mix, John? Republicans. You know who don't give us an opportunity to sit and talk with them? Republicans. So when you say united, we stand. Sorry, John. There's a group of people here in this state of Minnesota that don't believe in what you just said. So that's why I say I don't align with a lot of the things that the Democrats align with. I just don't align with them. Me being a conservative black man who believe in voting on the issues, not party. I don't vote party. I just don't do it. I know a lot of people get mad at me. Oh, well, you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. No. I find somebody that I like in that party, in one of those parties, and if they align with me, then they get my vote. I don't care if they're Republicans. I don't care if they're Democrats. I voted for Ronald Reagan one time. Was a fool for doing that. I didn't vote for Bush. I would have voted if if John McCain hadn't got crazy on us and brought in Sarah Palin, if he would have brought somebody in with a mindset, I would have voted for John. I got a Mitt Romney sign in my garage right now. Right now, Mitt Romney had my vote. Not because he was a Republican, because he did not believe in the whole mindset that Obama sit there and go, oh, well, I have evolved and marriage can be, anybody can be, a dog and a dog can marry. No, Obama, you can't have my vote. Sorry. So, no, I did not vote for the black man the next time. No. I've evolved too. I've evolved right back to where God said things are supposed to be, Obama. So there are things that the Democrats put out that I cannot get with them. I don't believe that a man has a right to be in a woman's prison. I don't believe a man has a right to be in a woman's bathroom. I don't believe in all of this stuff they got going on. I don't believe that a man can put on a wig, lipstick, eyelashes, eyeliner, a dress, and I've got to sit there and say, that is a woman. No, it will never. I don't care what you call me. I don't. Homophobic, biphobic, riphobic, ifphobic. Phobe me. Phobe all you want. But when you're done, just say he's a child of God. That is what the Democrats believe in. And truth be told, a lot of black preachers, when I sit and I talk to them and we talk about this stuff and we all agree, but then at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we sit there and say, well, let's vote Republican, and everybody want to slap everybody in the room because we can't vote Republicans because Donald Trump has decided. And I know a lot of white people they look at this and go, oh, it's no big deal, Rev. This is the reason I'm about to say what I'm about to say. It is a big deal to us that Martin Luther King is honored on a day. And in that honor, they're saying that you don't have to pay to get in the parks. On Juneteenth, a day we celebrate, you don't have to pay. But Donald said no more. It is important to us that the legacy of slavery, as bad as it has been, as bad as it was, be told in the true form that it was in. Donald Trump said, oh, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to have these white kids go to these here museums and come out of there feeling guilty. That's your ancestors' fault. That's not our fault. Your ancestors did that. Your ancestors was so dirty, so mean, so nasty that they put it in a museum. And now you don't want to tell your history, your culture. That's your culture. Tell your culture. Your culture is slavery and beating and hanging and killing black people. Your culture is slavery and selling black babies and black body. That's your culture. That happened right here under the flag, that very flag you love to death, that flag. So let's tell the truth. So we can't go and hang out with the Republicans. Can't do it. You got people like Nick Fuentes, who's told us point blank. Not only that, but now you all are, your biggest podcasters are literally lifting this kid up. Tucker Carlson had him on the show. Piers Morgan had him on the show. He's a downright racist Nazi. He says it himself, and here you are giving him spotlight. You tell us who you are every single day. and wonder why black folks are not voting for you. You tell us every single day. You got Stephen Miller in the White House. The worst of the worst. Bull Connor himself is in the White House. And you go, why won't black people vote for us? 300,000 black women lost their jobs. And you say, why won't black folks vote for us? You throw out people like Wesley Hunt, Byron Donald, Vernon Jordan, Tim Scott. As long as them Negroes tap dance for you, as long as them Negroes can be tokens for you, that's what you try to put in black folks' face and expect us to bow down to those low down, dirty, hood, no good house Negroes that we've been warned about through Malcolm X. That's why we don't vote for Republicans. Republicans ain't never showed us no love. Ever since y'all decided that Storm Thurmond was your guy. Look it up if you don't understand what I'm telling you. When he came over and y'all decided that, you know what, the Democrats, we were, hold on. Black folks started with Republicans, did we not? My grandfather, I can say this, my grandfather was a diehard Republican. Even though Richard Nixon treated black folks like the worst thing that ever stepped a foot on this United States of America soil, my grandfather still, just like Jane Brown, all black people, when Jane Brown was telling black folks to vote Republicans, right? Look it up, people. Don't take my word for this stuff. I keep telling y'all. Everything that I say, you can look it up and see exactly what I'm talking about. The Republican Party had the black celebrity like you wouldn't believe. Jane Brown was the biggest black celebrity going back in the day. You couldn't get any bigger than Jane Brown. Jane Brown would hiccup and people, every black person in the world would be like, excuse you. He sneezed and everybody will pull out a handkerchief. Jane Brown was just that big. He was so big that Jane Brown went to Richard Nixon and nobody talked to them. Nobody got mad at him. Nobody was upset with him. We all accepted that James Brown knew what he was doing. And we were going to go with Jane Brown, unlike the celebrities today. Like, look at it. Look at Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj called herself supporting Donald Trump. Black people don't like Nicki no more. Correct? Look at Snoop. Snoop Dogg was the biggest. You couldn't go to California and say something bad about Snoop. You could not. Snoop is the only. Look, I'm going to show you how big Snoop got. Let me put it this way. So, Eddie Murphy did this joke, right? Go watch Eddie Murphy Delirious. There is nothing, other than Richard Pryor Live. My two favorite comedy albums, Richard Pryor Live and Richard Pryor Live, and both the Eddie Murphys. But during one of Eddie Murphy's get up, Eddie Murphy does this funny joke, right? And that joke is about Michael Jackson taking Brooke Shields, who y'all consider to be probably the whitest European American ever live, until that girl Sydney Sweeney eclipsed her a couple of months ago. But Brooke Shields was it. He said you open up a dictionary and it had white girl, it'd be Brooke Shields' face. But the joke went like this, that Michael Jackson was so popular. White people loved Michael Jackson so much that they let Brooke Shields go out with him. And Eddie said they wouldn't have let me go with her because they knew Brooke Shields would have gotten. I say that to say this. That's how big James Brown was back in the day. He was huge. White people liked him. Black people liked him. He could do no wrong. No wrong. Look it up, people. He was a Republican. And black people followed him because of who he was. If James Brown says we're Republicans, we are Republicans. And then the Republicans decide to show their true colors. Show their true colors. They let people like Bull Connor, Lee Atwater, and when Ronald Reagan went down to the most racist place in the United States to announce that he was running for the presidency of the United States, when Ronald Reagan decided to sell drugs out the back of the White House to the black community, while Nancy Reagan stood in the front of the White House saying, say no to drugs. That did it for black people when it came to Republicans. That did it. That did it. My uncles, my grandfather, my aunt, who were staunch Republicans, left the Republican Party. That's a true story. And a lot of other black people did. So you wonder, why do we always vote for Democrats? Oh, they own the plantation. It's not we own the plantation. We're afraid to come off the plantation because the Klan's on the outside of the plantation. And we know what the Klan do. The Klan kills, steals, and destroys. And like I said before, y'all may think that the King's birthday and Juneteenth, to y'all, to a lot of you European Americans, to y'all, it's no big deal. So what? It's just a day. But it means something to us. It means something to me. That's why we don't vote Republican. And every day that Donald Trump puts down a Jasmine Crockett, a black woman, those are points. Every day he says something bad about Jory Reid, that's a point. Every day if he says something about Ketanji Jackson, that's another point. And quiet as it's kept, I literally wish I can show you this DM. I really do, but I can't. But I had to DM someone who is running for Republican governor of this state and tell them that Donald Trump has hurt all chances in Hennepin County. So I started this off by saying that black folks and Indians and West Indians and Somalis and everybody, we can't come together. It's hard. Well, Donald Trump is doing an awesome job of getting us to come together. He's doing an awesome job. Because when I sit in the church and the pastors are sitting there going, we cannot be silent anymore. I know what that means. That means we're going to go and tell the Somali community it's time. And we're going to step up and be with you. And if that happens, there isn't a Republican that's going to come through. Hennepin County. Just will not happen. And if they get with the people over in St. Paul, you better wrap it. It's a wrap. They already got the blue curtain. And as the black folks finally start going, it's time for us to step up. I don't know how long we're going to sit back anyway. If you notice, we haven't been out on the rallies. You haven't seen any black people out there. You've seen a bunch of white people, but you ain't seen black folks. We ain't done nothing. We just been sitting back. Only thing we've done is say we've just said we're not going to Target. We haven't been to Target. We haven't been to Target. Other than that, we haven't done anything. We haven't done anything. So I don't know when we're finally going to go enough's enough. It's time for us to speak. But if those 5 groups come together, y'all wouldn't want me as governor, John. You wouldn't want me as governor, because we wouldn't. A lot of what we're going on right now wouldn't be happening. A lot of what is going on right now wouldn't be happening. See, because as governor, hold on. As governor, someone who is running this state, I think, and I would, every city council in the state of Minnesota, I would go in and tell them to tighten it up. I don't want to see, especially Minneapolis. If I was governor, I would go find people who I believe that could run and y'all don't. A lot of times y'all don't understand how important Minneapolis is. I don't think a lot of y'all do. I don't think a lot of you understand how important Minneapolis is. If Minneapolis wasn't important, I wouldn't have went so hard for Mayor Fry. And y'all don't understand. Everybody, why are you? I seen a couple nights ago somebody go, well, you know, he would have voted for what did he say? He said something. I did something for Mayor Fry. You damn right. I got a bunch of black churches together. I did. I did. We had meeting after meetings after meetings to get our people to get up and get out and go vote, because we needed it. I did. Every energy, every energy in my body, all the energy in my body. For 3 weeks, I used it to the max to make sure Fry was going nowhere. But John, y'all couldn't handle me. Y'all couldn't handle me as governor. Y'all couldn't handle me as governor. Because I'll be in every school. I'll be in every county. I'm not going. I would not be governor to sit in that Capitol behind closed doors. I would not be governor to sit in the place over there on Summit and have my wife open up the window so she can smell the devastation that's outside. It's sad when people who are helping and doing the things that I do in the community, and I can't get 5 minutes with the governor because I'm not the governor's type Negro. But here's the thing, John. The Republicans that are running right now, I can't get with them because I don't believe the Republicans who are running for governor right now, I don't believe not one of them would govern the whole state of Minnesota. See, I know there's white people out there in rural Minnesota that swears up and down that, oh, Walls ain't doing nothing. Walls ain't this here for me. Walls ain't that. Walls ain't bothering you, to be totally honest with you at the end of the day. Now, again, I'm not for Walz. I didn't vote for him. I'm not taking up for him. But when you really, really think about it and you be honest, it's not Walz that's screwing you. It's not Walz that's making your life hard. It's some other ones. It's some senators and the representatives at that Capitol that's doing it. That's who's making your life bad. Because you keep voting. It's like Tom Emmer. Why? See, this is what cracks me up about Republicans, right? Watch this. This is what cracks me up about Republicans. Republicans love to sit there and say, see how the Democrats are? They always vote for these nutty, crazy people. They get what they vote for. Tom Emmer is no different. Make me understand why y'all feel that Tom Emmer is different from the Republicans that y'all always try to put people down on. Tom Emmer. Y'all vote that man in the office every single year, and then you come over and you try to shame the Democrats. When you put that man of all him in the office, you do that. Your base does that. And then we laugh at you when you put somebody like Tom Emmer running statewide. We laugh at you. And you wonder why. Tom Emmer, the worst of the worst. He's the worst of the worst. But you all put him in the office all the time. But if those 5 group of people can come together in the state of Minnesota, I'll show you what power looks like. Real power. Real power. See, it's just like, well, I had put out a tweet a couple days ago about Prior Lake. Watch this here. I'm again. Look it up. Look it up. So back in the day, black folks, really, we were looking for a way. People who wanted to leave the city and want to live in like in the country, stuff like that, right? Prior Lake was one of those, and people was asking, why are you so mad at Prior Lake? Because Prior Lake was one of those areas that black folks was going, let's go to Prior Lake. So what the white folks in Prior Lake did is they jacked up the prices of the house, knowing there's no way in the world black people are going to be able to afford those houses out there. No way. So they jacked the price up. That's why we're not in Prior Lake. But look at what you did. Why, you did everything to keep us out. You did everything to keep us out. And you got 2 mosques in your community. Yeah, boy, y'all crack me up. Is it because no one looks up or does the research? It's a name they know, and yeah, no, that's right, John. That's right, brother. So Donald Trump said, and I quote, "Black folks know a scam better than anyone." That's why we don't vote for Republicans. And black folks all day on Black Twitter have been asking this question. What did we do? We've been staying out. We haven't bothered nobody. We've been staying out of this mess. Everything that's been going on, we ain't take nobody's side. And then Donald Trump gonna add that we know scams, as if we are good at scamming. as if we're the scammers of ever. We ain't bothered nobody, Mr. President. We didn't bother you. Ain't nobody talked about you, man. But you're going to bring us up in this here fraud scamming situation when we ain't got nothing to do with it. That's why we don't vote. So then he says black people love him. And then he talked about the votes that he got from black folks. All right, let me say this here. That was a protest vote on the Democrats. The FBAs, the Foundational Black Americans, decided that we're going to vote, give our vote to Donald Trump, and that's going to force the Democrats into talking seriously about reparations. That's what it wasn't about loving Donald Trump. It wasn't about knowing like Donald Trump was going to do something for black people. We knew that was not going to happen. But to get the Democrats to go, oh my God, we're losing the black vote. What do we do to get that black vote back? Let's go to the black people and ask them what they want. And the black people will be like, we want you to start talking about reparations. We want reparations on the table. We want to hear you say that you want. That's what the vote was about. A lot of other black people voted for Donald Trump because they realized how easy it is to act a fool, to play a token, to be an Uncle Tom, to be a house Negro. And you can get paid by white folks. Candace Owens, Brandon. I can go down the list. What did I do with my list? I used to have a whole list. Hold on. I used to have a whole list of black folks. Y'all paid. Candace Owens, Jason Whitlock, Rob Smith, all these here boondocking black conservatives. Y'all paid really, really good for them to act a fool. You did. Most of them voted for Donald Trump for that Brexit. All of that, whatever happened to the Brexit? All them Negroes that love to jump in front of the camera. What's that comedian? What's that comedian? That comedian dude name? Oh yeah. The one that y'all love ever since this kid was 15 years old, black kid talking much smack about black people. C.J. Pearson. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Look him up. Look him up. So you had a protest vote through the black community for Donald Trump. You had your FBAs in the reparation for Donald Trump. And you had your black token conservatives voting for Donald Trump. It wasn't a point that black people was in love with Donald Trump, because we're not. We're not. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him the first or the second time. Never happened. Never happened. So when he sits and he says that black people love him, I've got something to say about that. That's just not true. That's not true. Black people think it's cool to get on here and put the camera in front of their face and bounce up and down and try to act like black people, they do that all the time. That was the newest token out there. His name is Anton something. Dixon. Something like that. Not Dixon. Daniels. That's it. The newest token that's out there y'all in love with, look him up. That's the newest house Negro. So no, Trump, I can honestly sit here and tell you that it had nothing to do with black folks loving you. Black folks see you as a Bull Connor. They see you as a Storm Thurmond. They see you as a David Duke. But love, I wouldn't put in the same sentence because of your actions. And just like you say, black people know a good scam better than anyone. Better than anyone. Better than the best scammers. And you know what the best scammers are? Come on, man. Y'all know where I'm going with this. It's not in the black community. We can't even scam ourselves into getting property in our own community. I mean, if we were such good scammers, we would have stores, we would have businesses, the buildings, we would have property, we would have all types of land. If we were such good scammers, we got none of that. So either Donald Trump is lying or our scammering ability is not up to par, and we better get it up to the par that Donald Trump says that we are. or better yet, what Trump needs to be worried about is him telling his MAGA faithful that they're going to be pulling all of these Somalians out of Minnesota. And now that he ran into this trouble, all of a sudden, the only ones that he's really got, they said they got 19 people. 19 people. 5 of them are Somali. 2 of them they had to give back. Not doing so good, Mr. President. Not doing so good. Your base was chomping at the bits because they was like, all of these people about to be gone. Only to find out that all these people are American citizens. And a lot of them, you can't deport them. You just can't. They're American citizens. You can't. Dude said they need to be denaturalized. Come on, man. If you do that, a lot of European Americans will be gone bye-bye. So that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They're not going to assimilate. The new word on the block for the week. They're just not going to. There's a lot of other cultures that you don't, they just stay down back in the, if y'all don't think when they brought these Hmong people over here, that these European Americans did not get kickbacks, did not get paid, did not make money off of these people, you're crazy. The difference is the Hmong people just did not know the system well enough to be able to do what the Somalis did. But the European Americans made money off of the Hmong community. They just did. They did. They settled the Hmong community. You really think these people did this stuff for free? Come on, man. Y'all got to be better than this. Seriously. They made just as much money off the Somalians. I mean, they made just as much money off of the Hmong. Probably not as much because they came here, before when but once they got the system down, when they start bringing these Somalians over here, they was making money hand over foot. If y'all don't think that these Somalians learned how to do this stuff from a group of people, come on, you're better than this. They got greedy. Here's the problem, what happened. If I said it the other night, if the Somalians had have done like had it done like some of the black folks in the black community and just shut their mouths and just lived off the money, like what they do in the black community? Because like I said, in the black community, millions, listen to me, millions go into the black community and nothing ever gets done. The gatekeepers put that money in their pockets. The black churches that the Democrats buy put that money in their pockets. And it never goes through the city. It never helps the kids it should help. It never does anything for these poor mothers or some of these poor fathers. The homeless people are right there in those camps all the time. With all of that money and resources supposed to be going to these people, it just don't get there. Now, if the Somalians had been smart and been like, you know what? We can only get so much a year. Let's not try to take it all at once. If they would have been smart and not tried to take every single dime that popped up in their face, had they not got greedy and been smart enough to just take enough to get by, enough to put in the bank, enough to buy a car, not a BMW, go out and get a Nissan, get a nice Nissan. They had to have BMWs. That's why they had to take all the money at once. Don't go get $1 million house. Buy a house for 150, 170, 175. Go to Elk River. Get a nice little house there in Elk River. Get a nice little house. No, you can't in Hopkins. They're too small and they cost too much. So you don't want that. I know you want a big house. You need a big house. Go to Coon Rapids. All right? Go to Coon Rapids. Coon Rapids. Go to Blaine. Y'all are out in Blaine. That's what I'm saying. You go to Blaine. Don't go over there by the lakes. Those are $500,000 homes. Stay in from the 200 all the way down to 125s. See, if they would have done it like that, they would have never been caught. They're greedy. Everybody in the family, everybody on the block, everybody that was in on this had to have a BMW. That was like black people have to have Cadillacs. See, we're all about Cadillacs. We don't care about Mercedes. Don't care about BMWs. Don't need a Lamborghini. And the rich rappers, they get the Lamborghinis. But your everyday black person, I ain't rich enough to have a Cadillac. I got a Nissan. But black folks, we got to have the Cadillac. Gotta have the Cadillac. Had the Somalis done it that way, they would have never gotten caught. Never got caught. But they got greedy. They was greedy. Greedy. European Americans didn't teach them that part. They just taught them how to set up these shell companies. They taught them how to set up these shell companies. They taught them how to write these grants. Same thing with the black community. They came in the black community. Then white women came in and showed black folks how to set up these shell companies, these LLCs, how to use those LLCs as an umbrella to come up to have these other little companies, and how to get this grant money. They did. They came in and showed those white liberal women, women that hate guns, white women that hate guns. They came in the black community. Yes, they did. And that's what they did. And they showed the same thing to the Somalis. Except the difference between black folks and Somalis, the Somalis got greedy. Black folks sitting there going, I know they're looking at me. These mosques, y'all don't think that some of these mosques are getting paid? These imams in these mosques, y'all don't think they're getting paid? You're out your mind. Democrats are paying these people. How do I know? Because they're paying black clergy. They're paying black pastors to keep everybody the way it is supposed to be. They are paying them your tax dollars, people. But y'all don't care. As long as you can go out to your suburbs and nobody come out and mess with you, you don't care. Not really understanding how important it is that the police department in the city works well. The city council members, they get together and they don't turn into socialists. Right? The programs that you give your tax dollars to, and they give to the people in the community, those programs need to work, because when they don't work, all hell breaks loose out in your community too. Because they're closing stores in the black community, grocery stores. They're closing them. All right? Restaurants, they're closing them. I ain't never seen that many. One of the things, if you've been following me long enough, you know one of the things that I love is Punch Pizza. Love it. I love it. I love it. I have never, a couple Sundays ago, wife and I, we go to Punch Pizza like either every other Saturday, every other Sunday, like for dinner. I have never seen that many black people in the Maple Grove Punch Pizza. I have never seen that many black people. And I looked at my wife and I said, it's coming. It's coming. Watch. Arbor Lakes. Mark my word. What is 2025? 2030. Y'all going to be on here going, Arbor Lakes is unrecognized. If you have never been to Arbor Lakes, I suggest you just go there and drive around. Go there. Oh, Saturday. Watch this. Saturday, Dave and Buster's. We had my grandson's birthday party at Dave and Buster's. I would take my grandkids over there at Dave and Buster's probably a year ago. And we had my oldest, Aiden, he was 11. And we would go over there and hang out all the time. No black people over there. Saturday, we was at Dave and Buster's, 11 o'clock in the morning. Who has a birthday party at 11 o'clock in the morning? Oh, I complained the whole party. Because I had to be at Dave and Buster's at 11 o'clock in the morning for a birthday. Anyway, the point that I'm making is Dave and Buster's, I've never seen so many black kids running around Dave and Buster's in the whole time that I've been going there than I did on Saturday. Because we have no place to go anymore. They closed Brooklyn Park. Everything in Brooklyn Park pretty much is done for. There's no restaurants where you can go sit in Brooklyn Park. So where do we go? Right across. And Arbor Lakes is literally Brooklyn Boulevard. You get on Brooklyn Boulevard, you cross 169, and where are you? Arbor Lakes. You're about to see how important it is that you pay attention to Minneapolis, North Minneapolis, and South Minneapolis. You are about to see how important it is that you pay attention to them. Because if it hit, they had a shooting. They had a shooting in Maple Grove. I guarantee you it was because one gang member saw another gang member, and he was like, dude, it's on. Gang members don't care where they shoot they don't care. Listen to what I'm saying. They don't care where they shoot their guns. If I see you, it is on. It's on. We're doing this. Anyway, folks, hey, I'm past my time like I always do here lately because I'm running off at the mouth too much. But I went down, like I said, I went down there today to see, because I wanted to see live the ice. I wanted to see the ice live, up close and personal. I wanted to see ice with my own eyes. I don't want to see him on video no more. I don't want nobody telling me about him no more. I was driving around, so I left from downtown, and I went to 31st and Pleasant because and over there on off Bloomington. I went to those because that's where all the Somalis are. That's where they are. I was over in West St. Paul a couple of days ago, and I went down to Cedar Riverside, where all the Somalis are. Again, they're not messing with Somalis. They got themselves a bunch of Mexicans, Latinos, Venezuelans. Is who they got. Trump's like, I probably can't get these here Somalians like I promised you, but I'm coming out of here with something. Trump's like, I'm coming out. I'm not going out of there, and I'm empty-handed. So I might as well take these other brown people, the other light brown people, and that's who they getting. That's who they getting. Anyway, fam, I am done. I am finished. I appreciate you. I thank you much. Tomorrow is Thursday. The wife's headed down. The wifey, I didn't want to go because anytime I travel now, I literally have to take my machine, and I've got this huge suitcase that I got to put this machine in, and it is a bear to travel with this thing. But in order, we go anywhere now, so I have to call ahead for Cineas. That's the kidney group. And I got to tell them how long I'm going to be in town. And then they will deliver all of my solutions to wherever I'm at. I just have to bring my machine. So that means we got to bring 3 suitcases. And the heaviest thing is that machine. That machine is unbelievably heavy to carry around with you. So it's hard. It's got wheels you can pull, and then my luggage, I've got the little wheels on it. See, if I can find someone with something with some wheels, a motor, where I can just tootle around, I can take that machine, I can hook it to the back of it, and that's how I can get around the airport, then I may travel a little bit. But the wife is about to go down to Shorts, Texas. She's going down to Shorts, Texas. That's where her brother lives. They're going down to the border. They're going down to the beach. He's got this cool. I'll have her send me pictures of his camper because it's like a military. It's like literally a military grade camper. This camper, you can sit in the woods and you wouldn't even see it. He did 20-something years in the Army, so it's up here. It's up here. But his camper, you should see it. Thing sits up on a foot like it's a 4x4. So I'm gonna have my wife take me a picture when they're on the beach. So they're gonna be going down to the beach and spending some time on the beach down there in Corpus Christi. They're going down to Corpus Christi, Texas. So in my understanding, it was 80-something degrees today in Corpus Christi, Texas. So that's where the wife will be leaving for tomorrow until Tuesday. So I'm going to be here with just me and my dog. Just me and Jordy. That's it. Hanging out. So y'all probably see a little bit more of me in the next couple of days because I ain't got nothing to do. I ain't got nobody to talk to. So I got to talk to you all. Oh, I know what I got to do. I completely forgot. I'm supposed to be going to Brad's. Bradley. No, this is not Brad Collier. Even though Brad Collier and I are cool. We went and had breakfast together and the whole 9. But I got to DM Brad. So I go down so I was downtown to get I was a day early. And then I'm glad I went because they pushed my time back anyway. But I'm supposed to be going to Brad's on Friday. So I got to get a hold of Brad and let him know that we got to push it until next week. It's the second time I've kind of canceled on the guy. I feel bad, but this is the way my life is. My life is literally planned around these doctors that want to play with my life. That's what they do. So I got to plan my life around those type things. But anyway, hey, I'm out. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. And did I have anything else left that I need to talk about? No. I cleared the board tonight. Check that out. Even though it took me an hour and 30 minutes, I got to get better. I promise. I promise I'll be better. Promise. Anyway, y'all have a good night. We're going to end the night like we always end the night. Realizing, understanding, recognizing that the God we serve, I say the same thing every night because somebody out there don't realize just how good God is. Somebody out there don't realize just how God can change their life. Somebody out there don't realize that God can mend that heart. Somebody out there don't realize that God can take the taste of alcohol from them. Somebody out there don't realize that God can give you a high that drug will never get, that type of high that drug will never get you. All you have to do is be willing to let him know that you are accepting the man who died on the cross for our sins and for us being a wretch every single day. And if and when you're ready to do that. Again, I don't beat anybody with the Bible. I will never tell you that you're going to be rotten in hell if you don't do this and do that. But I'll tell you about the man that can make things better in your life. I'll tell you about it. And if you want to go find out for him and you want to have your relationship, and the reason I don't do that is because my relationship that I have with God was about me and him. Nobody told me, nobody beat me over the head with a Bible. So when it's time for you, when you get ready, when you want to have some type of relationship with him, I want you to have the relationship like I have with him. A very touching, special, meaningful relationship that I wasn't coerced into having. That nobody pushed me to him. I can never turn around and blame somebody because I'm following God in the things that he say. I can't blame somebody. Somebody else be like, I can't believe you led me to this man. I don't believe in this man because you told me to get here. I believe in him because I gave myself up to him. Like I said the other night, people always sit there and go, well, I found Jesus ain't never hid from nobody. So if you ever hear somebody say that, I need you to ask this question. When has Jesus ever hid from anybody? And they go, oh, well, he didn't. And then ask him, then how did you find him when he's not hiding? Jesus will never hide from you. Not when he wants you to be at the right hand, at the foot, at the left, in the back of the Father. Why would he hide that from you? He would never do that. Sisters and brothers, I'm telling you this. And I say that in this way. Sisters and brothers, I tell you this. Even though we have people in this Americas that love to divide us, that love to tell us that we're not equal, we are. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I may like Fruit Loops, you may like Cheerios, but we both put milk in there. So there's something. See what I'm saying? There's always something that we can talk about and come to a conclusion that we like this. Sad part about it is we let the politicians tell us that that's not true. When God is saying, but your sisters and brothers. one of the things that I always say at the middle of the night, because everybody every once in a while need a smile. I always tell somebody to put a smile on your face and go out and smile at somebody so somebody can smile back at you. Hey, fam, I am good. I want y'all to have a good one. I will more than likely, I definitely will see you Friday because I'll be here by myself because I got to take the wifey to the airport tomorrow. So she'll, like I said, she'll be gone. She was down here I told you, for those who don't know, go back and look at some of my old stuff. What you see in the back of me is new, is not new, but it's makeshift. Because I'm literally in the laundry. I'm in the far corner. They stuck me in the far corner of my basement. My laundry room is right there. Literally right there. I can get up right now and go put that load of laundry. The load of laundry my wife put in the laundry. I gotta put that in the dryer before I go up. But yeah, so I'll probably be back down here on Friday because I ain't got nothing to do. Hanging out with you. I'm done, fam. Y'all have a good night. We'll talk to you soon. Peace, fam. I'm out.